Being discarded by a partner is a very painful experience. You essentially get thrown out as if you never even mattered. You feel like you got thrown in the trash, like this person never even cared about you. Healthy people, emotionally available people, do not discard partners. Emotionally unavailable people discard. Discarding is when it is blindsiding. It's traumatic. There was no warning that the breakup was coming. There is no communication. The person being discarded is given little to no explanation as to why the relationship has to end. It's unilateral. The person being discarded is deprived of a voice or a say in the breakup. And they really feel completely bewildered, not even understanding what happened. Narcissists and avoidants are both notorious for discarding partners, but there are differences between how it's done and the intent. And let me explain the differences between the two. First, let's start with a narcissistic discard. A narcissistic discard is blindsiding, it is traumatic, it's unilateral, but it is particularly cold, cruel, and cutting. The narcissist will try to drive the knife in as much as they possibly can. They will say very hurtful things that are specifically designed to hurt you. And that's because seeing you in pain gives the narcissist pleasure. It gives them narcissistic supply, which is the attention, validation, adoration, power, and control that a narcissist feels entitled to. And seeing you hurt makes them feel powerful because they can hurt you. They can get under your skin, which means they have control over you. It means that they are relevant. They want to see you in pain, pining away for them. When a narcissist discards a partner, they always have a new source of supply lined up, meaning that there is someone else already in the picture and they were lining this person up before they left you because they simply can't go without supply. It is cold, it is intentionally cruel, it is abrupt, and there is no empathy whatsoever. And the narcissist will try to make it seem like everything is all your fault and you're the bad guy and you gave them no choice because you were just so terrible to them. You did this wrong, this wrong, that they had no choice but to leave you and go find new supply elsewhere. They will do their best to have you blaming yourself because if you're blaming yourself, they get to escape accountability. But the narcissist will usually go above and beyond, often doing other cruel, cold-cutting behaviors, like trash talking you to everybody that knows you. They'll go on a smear campaign to make it seem like they're the victim of you. All the things that they did to you, they will accuse you of doing to them, and they will try to smear your good name across town. Friends, family, mutual acquaintances are all going to hear about how terrible you were to the narcissist and how they were victimized by you. And this sympathy that they get from all these people gives them supply. Plus, it hurts you, and seeing you hurt gives them more power and control over you, which gives them supply. They do it in a way to cause maximum damage and maximum pain. When an avoidant discards a partner, it is also very traumatic. It can be very blindsiding. There is no communication, and the avoidant has completely deactivated, meaning they've taken their feelings for their partner and they've suppressed them. They've buried them. They don't allow themselves to access their feelings, and this is how they've learned to protect themselves going back to childhood. This is a person that received consistent childhood emotional neglect, and emotions weren't safe. Vulnerability wasn't safe. So, something triggered their fears in the relationship. It could have been the growing emotional intimacy. It could have been disagreements or expectations. Or their needs weren't being met and their feelings were not being addressed, but they never communicated it with you because of a fear of rejection and a fear of confrontation. So they started to bottle up resentment towards you and you didn't even know it. And that can lead to them ultimately deactivating, shutting down, and blindsiding you and pulling the rug from under your feet. But one way, shape, or form, their fears have been triggered. And when an avoidant discards a partner, it is all fear-based. They're not doing it with the goal of hurting you. That's not their intention. Now, they're solely focused on themselves and soothing themselves, which is creating emotional distance between you and them and running from things because avoidants avoid. But their intent is not to hurt you, and they don't get any pleasure from causing you pain. They're just not really considering your feelings, but they don't go out of their way to cause maximum damage because they're not trying to seek supply. They're not trying to see you hurting. Now, they may take some accountability along the lines of, I can't give you what you need, or you deserve better, you deserve someone that can love you the way you deserve to be loved, things like that. Or vague statements like, I'm just not ready for a relationship, I need time and space to heal, I just need to focus on work, I just need to work on myself. Or maybe some sort of blame on you, like, we're just incompatible, you like this, but I like that, and it's just never going to work. Or maybe a little more blame, you're just so needy, I can't give you all that, you're just asking for too much. But it's usually not nearly as cold and cutting, because it's not actually designed to hurt you. It's designed to give them an excuse to avoid accountability and escape the relationship, but not for the purposes of causing pain. And because the connection and the chemistry felt so amazing with the avoidant, and it felt so real, the discard from an avoidant, in most cases, actually is more painful than the discard from a narcissist. Because with the narcissist, they reveal themselves to be this really cruel, cold, cutting person that has no empathy and is just a bad person. The avoidant, well, they don't come across like that. They just come across as a very insecure, wounded person, but a person that you love and see the potential in, which makes it so much harder to let go of. Now, after the relationship ends, avoidants are very unlikely to launch a smear campaign. Can they? Sure, anybody can, but it's just unlikely from them. They're not going to go around town and smearing your name. If anything, they often try to avoid even talking about the breakup with friends and family. They just want nothing to do with it. And they may have a new partner lined up, they might not. It's not that they need supply, because they're not narcissists. They do like external validation, and they can be very quick to move on. But they don't always have a new person lined up, and sometimes they can go a long time without a new person. They're not leaving you for someone else in most cases. And in some cases, it is the case because you are triggering them. Maybe it's the intimacy, maybe it's your emotional availability that's frightening them. So they jump to a new relationship with a person that doesn't trigger their wounds, which is likely somebody more emotionally unavailable themselves, because there's no threat of intimacy. But the way they go about it, it can be cold because they're shut down, they're deactivated. There can be not a lot of empathy because they're focusing on themselves, and there can be a lot of vague excuses, but there's a certain degree of cruelness, coldness, and nastiness that you get from a narcissist that you simply just don't get from somebody with avoidant attachment. The avoidant is not looking to hurt you, the narcissist is. But both are blindsiding, both are traumatic, both can really crush your self-esteem because you thought you were secure with this person, just to find out that you're being thrown away and it's like you never mattered. It's a very brutal experience. But understand this, regardless of the label, the person discarding you, if you're being discarded, if you're blindsided, and if you were a kind, loving, consistent partner to them, the discard is a reflection of the person doing the discard. It's a reflection of their issues, their insecurities, and their character, their lack of empathy. It's not a reflection of you, your worth as a partner, your worth at all, or anything that you did or didn't do wrong. Because you can't make somebody discard you. Discarding's a choice. It is absolutely a choice, and you're not responsible for somebody else's choice. You never would have done it to them, so you didn't deserve it happening to you. Don't beat yourself up. It's not because you weren't good enough. This person clearly has issues that go so far above and beyond you and what you did or didn't do. Rest assured, it's not your fault.